Want to know what Bruce Lee's favorite drink was? It's... Hello viewers and welcome to the Craft Mask, home of custom action figures and toys. I am your host, Charlie, and right now I'm in between projects, just like I'm in between jobs. On the breadline, begging for handouts, but we'll talk about my Patreon later. For now, I've got to sweep up in my workshop. But to do that, I need this, a Super Soaker firefighter toy. Let's be real, that's a flamethrower rebranded to subvert the Geneva Convention. Because the dust here in New Mexico is so damn fine, you have to wet the ground before you sweep, lest you summon a dust demon great enough to choke out the sun. Obviously, I don't just want to blast my workshop with a garden hose, or waste time and kill my carpal tunnel syndrome with spray bottles. Hence, this little war crime in disguise. But I like transparency, and I don't like McDonald's, so I'm gonna give this thing an overhaul so it more closely resembles its true spiritual self. And I can look twice as deranged as I wage war on Joe Dirt over there. Dang. So, on with the show. Yeah, do things a little bit backwards around here. Spring cleaning here at the Craft Mask HQ actually takes place in the fall. It's too goddamn hot to actually do any outdoor work in the summertime. Like seriously, fuck that.
The sun is a deadly laser.
So I wait around for the winter. Despite it being a desert, it does actually get pretty damn cold in the winter, but at least I can just keep bundling on clothes. Not like the summer. You can only get so naked. I'd been planning to do this little custom job for a while, so I had collected a whole bunch of junk together, but it really only set off once I was able to find this second-hand shower hose at the thrift store. The hose the toy came with had long since perished, so I got rid of that. Although, I did find this nifty little spring inside of it. Score. But with the new hose, we should have more flex, more pressure, more water. In truth, this hose might actually be too thick and let in too much water, but it'll be a lot easier to change out with a screw-on connection, so it's an easily fixable problem, if it even counts as a problem at all. The other fittings on this thing were all garbage. They leaked everywhere. Probably not an engineering issue worth solving for a toy, but if this is to be an honest-to-God tool for cleaning, I can't have that. I want the floor wet, not my back. Ultimately, I cut the hose fixture too short because I later realized that the suction chamber could be moved further forward and gain an inch or so, but it's no big deal. The thermoplastic melted back together pretty easily. The original bottom valve leaked like crazy before, and it leaked like crazy after. I had to reapply glues and thermoplastics a couple of times over to stop all the leaks. That downward water pressure really is no joke. The top cap was way too stiff, and like everything else, it didn't even really seal properly, so I replaced it with a soda top. Still had to poke holes in it to let air in, but it won't be sloshing water out nearly as readily. Wherever possible, I reused plastic cutoffs from the toy for welding and reshaping. Less microplastics in the ocean to kill the turtles. Once everything was sealed and smoothed over, I removed all the stickers, sanded up the plastic to better take paint. Soul for a sandblaster.
He just went out the back door.
And coated the whole thing in a metallic primer. I put a couple layers of metallic on it, in fact, as well as a varnish, so that the metallic stood the best chance of surviving the next step, which is to mask off all the bits I wanted to stay pure metal, and stippling on some liquid latex on all the spots where an item would likely see heavy wear, and airbrushing on some army green, which is really just neon yellow and a tiny bit of black. That's 3 steps, you reprobate. I didn't have to worry about getting perfect coverage on the top layers since the goal was to look beat up. All the subsequent layers were just that same army green with progressively more white mixed in. This is to represent the undercoat that a painted metal surface would normally have, which are generally speaking lighter pastel versions of the color that goes on the very top. The final layer being just a spatter spray of the lightest army green I could make without looking like plain old white. Once all the spray layers and grungy washes had dried up, I went around the toy and rubbed off all the latex blobs. I was kinda worried I didn't put enough latex on, but as you can see, the latex tends to take more paint with it than its surface area would have you believe. As ever, don't 100% trust the latex. Which reminds me, say hi to your mom for me. Happy with how it looks so far. I saved my progress yet again with a few layers of varnish. Damn, if not for the airbrush, I would have gone through so many spray cans of varnish. Hell of an investment. Once the varnish dried, I masked off some more spots, dabbed on some more latex, especially over existing chipping, and painted on some warning signs. I was just going to use some stickers off of like eBay or something, but they only sell them in packs of 10. What the hell am I going to do with all of those? So I did them all freehand. Like these haphazard stripes. Because I knew they would all get messed up anyway. They didn't need to be that neat. I kept my paint thin so that the lines would flow cleanly, but coverage was an issue even with the black, so I had to paint over it a few times.
Not very pretty, is it?
It was clear I did not press the tape hard enough to seal the edges, but it's okay. Because it's sitting on top of a strong varnish layer, the newly sprayed acrylic paint comes off with nothing more than a hard scrub with a wet Q-tip, while the varnish protects all of the chipping underneath. I did not add a last varnish layer on because I don't mind the warning signs getting more chipped or dirtier as time goes on, but also I didn't feel like cleaning out my airbrush for the 3rd time that day. And with that, the Waterthrower is complete!
What if I'm not who I think I am? What if I am something else? I love the smell of the in the morning.
I now have a portable, precisely controllable way to wet down the dusty ground, and it looks badass. Well, more so than it did before, anyway.
I know what you're thinking. You want to see this man's testicles. That's right.
So, that's the water thrower finished for now. I might not do a mask off for this one. It was a scant few hours of work, and a podcast just for this thing alone would likely empty out faster than its own water tank. It works fine, fulfills its purpose. The hose is actually letting in too much water, and it's way heavier than it looks, so I don't trust these straps for shit. All that to say, I'm not entirely done with this thing, but the little tweaks I have in mind might make for an upgrade YouTube short at best. So that's a low priority future kind of thing. But right now, I have floors to clean and laundry to wash. Thank you for watching, my viewers. I will return here shortly with an actual toy video. So if you like giant gorillas, intergalactic insects, and cyborg demon zombies, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. For all the extra behind the scenes kind of stuff, go to my Patreon, where you can get downloadable videos, high resolution stills, the Mask Off podcast, and whatever not safe for work kind of stuff I might be doing in the future will end up there too. But for now, I shall go forth and moisten the earth. Yeah. What the f*** has become of my life? I'm getting excited about cleaning up my workshop. Am I really getting that old? Christ.
Once again, this whole broadcast has been brought to you by Sand. It's everywhere. Get used to it.